our next speaker. Got another wonderful expert joining us today, Diane McCloskey, who's Executive Director of ClearCore Detroit. And Diane's going to talk a little bit about, again, some of these policies and practices that are ongoing, including the Get the Lead Out Detroit Coalition and the resources that are available to homeowners. So Diane, I'll kick it over to you. Thanks.
Thanks, Nick. Hi, ClearCore Detroit has been around for a little over 20 years and been working with many of the people on this call to really try to prevent lead poisoning in kids. Lead poisoning is 100% preventable, and we work with a variety of partners, which I'll talk a little bit more about later. But to follow up on Nick and Lucretia, I did want to mention that if you text your home address, and I'll put this in the chat unless someone else does, to 313-254-DEMO, you will get notified by text when there is a demolition in your neighborhood. We work in a building on the Far East Side here that contains a Head Start organization, and 2 houses were in bad need of being torn down for the last 3 years. And over the last 6 months, they tore them down one at a time, and neither time was Head Start notified. And we are literally across the street from it, as well as with a playground. So you do have to be diligent. They do put signs out front. It was just crazy trying to cover the playground equipment and everything else, because there are things you can do if it's happening in your yard. You want to cover things or wash them down that kids are doing on. So I do encourage you to enter that in, because anytime that it's happening, even if you don't get notified by the tag on the door, you will be notified. Also, on the Detroit rental registration, there is another resource where you can put in your address and check to see if your property, rental property, is registered. And I can put that in the chat as well, unless someone else would like to do that. And that is detroitmi.gov/webapp, WEBAPP/rental-map. Again, that's detroitmi.gov/webapp/rental-map. You can put in your address and see. It will show you 2 different things. It will show you if your landlord has started the process, which is considered registered, and then it'll show you if they have completed the process, which would be compliance. To get from point A to point B, they have to have the lead investigation risk assessment clearance, and they have to have a third-party outside inspector come into the home for health and safety and other types of things. So, the city's website does have your rights and such as a citizen, but that's an easy way if you're timid and don't want to come right out and ask the landlord, or if there's a rental property next door to you or across the street from you, you can check on it that way. You can also report to the city, not at that particular website link, if there is someone in your neighborhood that's a rental home that you've already found on the map that isn't. I can't guarantee what the enforcement will be, but we have been told that you can now report them. So just wanted to share those couple of resources. Over the past year, I've been working with 14 different organizations to form the Get the Lead Out Detroit Coalition. And our mission really is to work together to try to do things that none of us can do on our own. There's a lot of great people working at a lot of great tables on things, but there's still some things that fall between the cracks. So we're just getting ready to launch the website. And this weekend, we do have a Lead Safe Kids Resource Fair. I'm going to put the flyer in the chat. And at that, it's going to be on February 11th from 10 to noon at the Ford Resource and Engagement Center at the Mercado in Southwest Detroit. And basically, we want families and their kids to come out. You're going to learn about the lead hazards. There will be testing by the Wayne Mobile Health Unit to do lead testing right there on site. The city of Detroit's going to be there taking lead hazard reduction grant applications and information. Will be information on the Michigan Saves Lead Poisoning Prevention Fund, Lakeshore Legal Aid. The health department will be doing some education sessions and also cleaning demonstrations and giving away free cleaning kits. The D-Lead Parent Group, which is a parent support group, sponsored at Wayne State will be there to talk to parents who've had kids impacted by lead. Molina Healthcare will be there, and the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Childhood Lead Poisoning Prevention Program will be there with some information as well. A lot of us, do things separately. We've joined together to design this, the first of our event, to see how we can leverage resources and such to really try to reach families, hopefully before their kids are lead poisoned, but also because we know testing numbers are low in the city and throughout the state. We want to try to figure out ways to have more opportunities to make it easy for folks to get their kids tested for free. There will also be COVID and flu vaccinations there as well. I'm going to also invite you, if you would like, right now the coalition is just forming, but the idea is that over the next couple months, we will have an advocacy group you can sign up for. You can sign up just for newsletters if you want to be more engaged in education or medical or just outreach in your community. Our goal is to link you with resources of either things that we're doing or other organizations like MyELSH, the Michigan Alliance for Lead Safe Housing, or the Ecology Center, I know who's on the call today, or the D-Lead Parent Group, or others who are doing things. We want to be a linkage to others so that if you're thinking about lead, you will come to the website, which will be launching, will be a soft launch next week, but it'll be formal about the beginning of March, so that you can find connections to people and things who are interested. You can find speakers to speak to your block club group. We can promote each other's events and such. So for right now, if you're interested in learning more about that, our email is detroitleadcoalition@gmail.com. That's detroitleadcoalition@gmail.com. And I am going to share the flyer for the event, if I did this right, in the chat. Looks like it went there. Or if you have any questions about the event itself, you can also reach us through that email. And that is it for me. We're just really excited. We want to build up a mailing list and a contact list and just really lift up our partners and try to identify the work that we're doing together. I will say there's several people on this call who've been a big part of starting to get our priorities together. And I thank all of you and the community for, helping us to inform this work. So we may know the medical or the, scientific end of things, or a little bit of the housing and stuff. We're trying to marry health, housing, environmental, social justice together to truly make a greater impact. So with that, I will close.
Thanks, Diane. That was wonderful, and appreciate all the resources as well.